Hey guys, I'm back, and yeah, I'll be talking about Force of Will in this video. So, with that being said, what does Force of Will mean to me as a person? Well, it's a game where I could sit down, relax, have fun with friends, and say, hey, let's have some fun, shall we? And with that being said, Force of Will to me is a form of stress relief and excitement, seeing as how Force of Will continues to be, a good game. And with that being said, Force of Will to me is a game where I can easily say, hey, it's one of the best games that I've been playing over the past, God knows how long I've been playing card games. For the past, 15, almost 20 years now, I think. And with that being said, it's this. Force of Will to me is a game where I can easily say it's one of the best games that I've played because it's not overly simple, nor is it overly complex. Yeah, it's not overly complex to where it's intimidating like Magic the Gathering is, or it's overly simple like to where it's insulting like Yu-Gi-Oh! Is. Yeah, I'm going to continue bashing about Yu-Gi-Oh! Trust me, you guys. But anyways, with Force of Will, it's a game that mixes complexity with simplicity. It's not overly simple, but it's not overly complex either. Meaning that newer players aren't going to be feeling intimidated to get into the game like how they would in Magic the Gathering. So, or at least that's how I view it as. And people won't see it as, so overly simple like in Yu-Gi-Oh! To where it's like, hey, literally everything's for free and you get to kill your opponent in turn 2, turn 3, like how Yu-Gi-Oh! Tends to be nowadays. And with that being said, Force of Will to me is a very balanced game, despite having, a lot of strong cards in it, but then again, with Magic the Gathering, it tends to be, a very strong game as well. But then again, Wizards of the Coast does their best to make everything balanced. So does Force of Will. And that's the thing with Force of Will. The company does its best to actually make a game that's competent. Competent in to say that, hey, we're not going to make a game that has overly powerful cards like in Magic Gathering, but we're not going to make cards that are, cost 0 and pretty much, you could spam them and boom, kill your opponent that turn like in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is. But anyways, and with that, the deck building. Getting to the deck building, it's less restrictive than, let's say, Pokemon or Magic the Gathering, seeing as how you really don't need, land cards or energy cards clogging up your main deck to be, to have a fully functioning deck. Whereas in Magic the Gathering and Pokemon, you need that. So, and that's the thing that I like about Force of Will more than, Magic the Gathering or Pokemon, is that the main deck is separate from the energy, or what was it, mana producing cards. It's so you can be a lot more creative with your deck. It's the creativity in Force of Will that you can do with your deck, seeing as how you're more restricted in Force of Will in Magic the Gathering Pokemon. But people will say, hey, it's having that restrictions that can make a better deck. True, but I'd rather not have cards that feel like filler to make my deck good. So, and in Force of Will, you can make, a competent 4 to 5 color deck with relative ease because of it. So, and with that being said, that's pretty much what I like about Force of Will, along with the fact that Force of Will tends to seems to have, a much better community than, Yu-Gi-Oh does, where, oh my god. That's that's going to be a separate video that I'm going to be talking about, is Yu-Gi-Oh and the community and the parent company. But anyways, another thing I like is that Force of Will, the company, seems to have, they're doing their best to keep up and interact with the player base, which I like, personally. It's like, I think, other than, Nintendo or Wizards of the Coast, Force of Will tries their best to actually interact with their communities, so more so with Force of Will, they try to interact. They're doing their best to actually interact with the community other than, hey, this or that or whatever, like with Wizards of the Coast or any other company does, so, which I applaud. So, yeah. And the fact that with Force of Will, it's a company and a game that doesn't take itself too seriously, or it's a company and a game that I can look at and say, this company does its best. And yes, I know it's in a slump right now, but it's getting there in terms of actually recovering after whatever mistakes that's done. So, which to me, if you ask me, Konami does not do that, and Wizards of the Coast, yeah, they do that, but it's a gradual thing. And with Force of Will, they did it with near immediacy, which I like. So, and with Force of Will, they actually make them so they actually take themselves very seriously competently. So yeah, you guys. But that's my entire spiel about Force of Will, and trust me, I could go on longer and longer about this, but I'm not going to, so have a nice day, you guys, and like, comment, subscribe, and tell me what you guys think about Force of Will. So, see ya.